Cheng, another
awesome guest.
Toast host for other days, and a world traveler. Tiffany, thanks for coming.
Not technically a world traveler, but I do have a food blog, and I studied abroad last summer in Europe, so I just blogged everywhere I went, and I blogged about the things I ate, because the cuisine there is just so different, and I just wanted to leave something behind, you know, when I was documenting my travels. It was tough, but I loved doing it.
Yeah, I think we actually have one of your videos that we're going to watch here, and
no, I'm nervous.
from Prague, so let's take a look. Well, the thing about your videos is that
they're very short.
They're very short.
I don't think that people have the attention span for them, so maybe you'll catch a snippet of it.
Yeah.
But I just tried to get a unique blend of everything. So the location, the sites, the types of food that we have, or the types of food that I ate, and I did a series called Locals by Insert City. So I did one by Locals by London. So I asked a bunch of locals in the area, where's your favorite place to eat? Cool. And then they gave me the suggestions. I went there and checked it out. The food was always on par. It was great. It's great knowing a local's perspective, because Yelp doesn't really exist in Europe. So it does, but it's not as widely used as it is in America. So it was basically my way for getting around.
Did you find that they had a reviewing kind of online thing for Europeans, or is that just, it's more like talking to the locals and seeing what's good?
I've been asking around, and I noticed that they don't really use Yelp heavily, but there is a French site called Le Fooding, so it's kind of like their French version. Everything's in French, so my French is budding. It's very little at the moment, but it was easier to get around.
Ooh la la. I think we have the video, so let's take a look.
Oh no. Welcome to Prague. I'm with my friend Brittany and Emily, and we're on a boat right now. I'm on a boat. Czech food is actually really good, and this week I'm going to be covering Czech food, Thai food, anything I encounter, so I hope you like it. There's so much to see in Prague, and we were lucky to get a tour of the Prague Castle. I got to touch the table where Obama's at a nuclear arms treaty with Russia, which is really cool. And I definitely recommend Prague to anyone looking for relaxed traveling. In Prague, it's just, everything is so nice. Yeah, the architecture here is beautiful. Yeah.
In ranking, I think it would go Prague, London, Paris, Prague.
Rome is last?
Yes.
Okay, messing around aside, this week was the first time I had a dining experience in a cave at Svata Clara, and it was phenomenal. The environment's absolutely exquisite. I've never eaten anywhere like it before. And it's a centuries-old natural cave. It used to act as a wine cellar for a Baroque castle nearby. And to this day, they have a huge selection of domestic and foreign wines available. So I definitely recommend that you give it a try. Today, the restaurant has evolved to have both Czech and international cuisine. What I really enjoyed were the main entrees, but the pesto butter. Oh, the pesto butter was so good. We tried the scallops and some tiger prawns, which were very flavorful. And I had the roasted lamb, which I liked because it was very succulent and juicy and just well cooked. I really enjoyed my dining experience at Svata Clara, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to give it a try if they're in the area. It's a little pricey, but I think it's worth it because there's a romantic atmosphere, great service, and the food is also really good. So that's about it for this week. Subscribe, add me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!
That is such a creative idea. That was beautiful.
That was more of like a food review. I didn't have a chance to do much eating in Prague, so I had to focus it solely on eating in a cave. Because I guess it is a unique experience. I've never eaten in a cave before. Apparently, whenever Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie stopped by in Prague, they stopped there as well.
Oh my gosh.
Fancy,
big deal,
right?
yeah.
And I don't know, like the other video I did with London by Locals, I interviewed two student workers there, and then I asked them what their favorite places to eat. They directed me to the food market. It had like international foods from everywhere. It was delicious, and I have one of my favorite Indian restaurants in London. It's in Covent Garden, and it's called Punjab. It is one of my favorite restaurants because the tikka masala and the korma curry are just very rich and flavorful, and it just has like another dimension. It's pretty expensive because the British pound is not equivalent to the actual dollar.
Right.
But I think it was worth it just because I'm a huge foodie and I now have a new love for Indian food.
Oh, I am too. Indian food has always been my favorite cuisine, and a lot of people haven't tried Indian food. I think it's so sad, but
in certain areas, like in America, there's like just states where like they don't have Indian food.
Yeah, they don't have the options, and it's great because different countries have different delicacies, but you can see that there are different concentrations of other types of food in different areas. Because I know in Paris there was a huge Vietnamese cuisine available. They had like pho and all the other baguettes with everything in it. And I realized in London there were a lot of Indian food. In Prague they specialize in their own Czech food, but they did have a lot of fast food restaurants. I was quite surprised by that.
like McDonald's.
Yeah, American.
Like McDonald's, but they just had different offerings. So our McDonald's here, they have very thin potato fries, but there they have like more robust, more flavorful, like potato wedges.
Okay.
So there's variations of every McDonald's.
Yeah.
Across.
I know that in a lot of European countries they dip their fries in mayonnaise.
Yes, I found that very strange. So when I was in Paris, I was buying a hot dog at a stand in front of the Eiffel Tower, and then this French guy in front of me started making conversation with me, and then they asked him if he wanted ketchup on his fries. He's like, no, just mayo. And like they don't just put little moderation, like a little side of mayo. They slather it in mayo. It was bizarre. I don't understand, but I think it's a European thing.
Have you tried it before?
I tried one of his fries, but I wouldn't say I'm completely sold on it yet. I haven't been a huge fan of mayo.
Yeah, same. I don't.
Me neither.
Yeah. But one of my favorite places.
Of course, the difference can get along.
Yeah, they do have a lighter flavor. The portions are smaller. They don't rely on cheese as heavily, except for in Italy, which I really enjoyed because Italian food is amazing. It was one of my favorite things to eat when I was on the trip.
Do you think that was your top cuisine of your whole trip?
Yes, I would have to say so, just because, I came back here, I couldn't eat Italian food anymore because it just wasn't the same. Like, the gnocchi wasn't as soft, wasn't as chewy. The linguine I had there was, like, perfectly flavored, like, perfectly, like, just, like, a perfect combination of every ingredient, like, the way it's supposed to be. And they treat it like it's, normal food there. It's not Italian pizza, it's just, you want some pizza. And it's not, if you go to the right places that aren't in touristy areas, it's actually really good. And so is their gelato, which has like more sugar than American ice cream.
Yeah.
But I had gelato 3 times a day there. That's kind of embarrassing.
When I go to Greece, I like have ice cream 3 times a day, sometimes 4 times a day. Everyone I talk to that's gone to Europe, they always talk about how they have ice cream like at least 3 times a day, and
too good.
so good.
I remember. Well, it's very cheap there as well. You can get a cup of gelato for €2.
And here, it's so, I never
you
get
can
gelato
pay up to,
here. It's
I don't
so
know, $5
expensive.
for some gelato. But the way they make it there is that you have to make sure that it's not too close to a touristy area. And then the gelato flavoring, when you look at the fruit colors, like not stracciatella, that's chocolate chip. Fregola is strawberry, and if the fregola is, like a light pale color, usually it's older. So you have to like pay attention to the consistency, the texture, and like the colors of the gelato to make sure that it's fresh. And
You're a gelato expert.
I was a gelato expert. I ate gelato every day for a week, 2 or 3 times a day. So I would say that I've had my fair share of gelato, but it was one of the best things I've had there.
Wow. How long were you in Europe for?
I studied abroad with the USC program for 4 weeks, and then I traveled with my family for 2 weeks afterwards.
Wow, that's so nice.
So we did a 4-week trip to London, Paris, Rome, then Prague. Okay. And then I did a very crazy 6-country, 12-day tour.
Wow.
6-country, 12-day tour in, that time frame right after the trip. And it was like whiplash going from like different country to different country. It was great, but it was also very exhausting. Wouldn't recommend it to anyone. If they say 6-country, 12 days, tell them no. It's crazy, yeah.
What kind of countries did you see?
We started off in London, made our way to Rome, and then went to Venice, Milan, Florence, and then stopped in Lucerne, Switzerland, went over to Paris, and then Belgium, Brussels and Belgium, and then stopped in Amsterdam.
Wow.
So it was a little bit crazy.
That's intense.
It was enjoyable. I would have wished that if I had more time to explore each city, I could actually find my way around and know where the best foods are. But since I spent 4 weeks in those countries earlier, the USC programs, I kind of understood them better than I did the country that we just kind of toured straight through. So.
Right. Are you going to continue doing this food blog, or was this kind of just like a European
It
trip
started
kind of
off as a summer project. I'm not sure what the trajectory of it will be in the future, but right now it's on pause because I'm focusing on school. Maybe if I do more traveling, I went to Nebraska 3 weeks ago
exotic.
to visit a friend, so I'll probably food blog about the great food I had there. The steak there is amazing.
Yeah.
If I do more traveling, I will blog about it just because I think that it's cool to experience the different flavors and share it with others because, you know, they have TripAdvisor. Well, TripAdvisor is a good alternative to Yelp, but it's not as well known.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's not as interactive as well. So I think if this offers like a more intimate look into like a country, into seeing maybe more of its people, I think that I'm also going to do some blog posts about Los Angeles because,
Definitely.
you know, as a Los Angelino, you have to maybe share what you know about the city to others because when they come, they want to see and they want to eat the food, but, you know, you don't know what's the best in the area. If you rely heavily on Yelp, you'll just end up going to Diddy Lee's or Potato Louie, you know, like the standard favorites. And I think that if I could blog about some of the less known places in West Hollywood, some of the less known places like in the middle of nowhere, I think they'll have more business, but they'll also have more mission because sometimes I feel like places that are visited very often, like, you know, the standard Pinks or I'm sure if you're from out of town, in and out as well, they might get a little tiring, so you want to try something different.
And in the same way that you sort of, you know, are capturing these other countries by talking about their food, you could do that with like the smaller areas of LA or around it.
Yeah, and they've actually covered the Los Angeles Times Taste Festival.
Wow.
It was in September, and I went with my boyfriend, and we had too much food, but it was great because you can eat everything. They have different vendors come in all around the festival, and then you just take little samples of everything, so you don't have to eat an entire plate of food to get like a little sample of what they have. And then from there, I got to see like a taste of the restaurants that I wanted to go visit, and some that I were okay passing on, you know.
What's that called?
The Los Angeles Times Taste Festival.
Okay.
So it's once a year. It's usually in September. It's actually really hot, so you have to prepare yourself. But it's great because they have so many food options, and it's not as expensive as it used to be because they don't have Food Network stars visiting anymore. But it's still a great experience.
Well, next year definitely to check it out. Is there a website where we can?
Yeah, so you can find my videos on youtube.com/foodography and also on Facebook.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much
Great
for coming.
having you on the
Thanks for having
show.
me.
Check out those videos. And thanks for watching The Toast. Have a great Thanksgiving, and bye-bye.